I like our intro music, Victor. We're
I love
back.
it too. I love it too. Welcome back, everyone. Great to be back here doing this with you, Steve.
Yep.
How's
Tangy
it been? It's
Talks
been a
October.
while. It's been
It's
a
been a
while.
while. I think it's been over a month for sure. We were doing, I think a month is good. We should do like a monthly podcast. And you're just talking backstage, listeners and viewers, about all the stuff we got going on. I'm talking about Victor. I need to get my massage and like full spa day recharge for the last 3 months of the year. Victor's
There
telling me he had some dude jump on his back in the middle of a massage. I don't know what was going on there,
you go.
but
Yeah, it was out of left field. I didn't see that one coming, but that was it's what we call the Thai massage. So yeah,
yeah,
I'm in for the experience.
at the Fontainebleau, a reputable place. So it wasn't any crazy back
Yeah,
alley.
I didn't go to the corner store there
Yeah.
on 8th Street there.
And then I got a lot of new things going on too. I'm excited to go golf tomorrow, but virtual golf over at the Tips in Brickell with you tomorrow morning. That'll be fun. Excited to
Yeah,
see how that goes. That's my new goal for the end of the year is to get back into golf after 20 years. So
yeah.
let's see what happens.
I'm super excited about that, man, because you were able to get a partnership with them. So now we're offering a special promotion to all of our guests, and I know golf is on the up. The Ryder Cup that just happened, I know I had a big buzz all around. So I'm excited for our guests. I don't know. I love seeing when our guests use like our amenities or our promotions. So I want to see what they think.
Yeah, I see a lot more athletes now golfing too, right? So like LeBron James is getting in there, and like
Jump
all these
on it.
basketball players, and they're all trying to get into the golf game. So I think that's going to bring a whole wave of people in
Yeah,
now as
I
well.
think I think it's a humbling sport, right? Because you think you can, 4 or 5 way athlete, and then you pick up a golf club with a ball that doesn't move, where you're trying to smack it and hit it straight, and it doesn't happen. It's a humbling experience.
So man, I'm
I
on
know
that
that
pro.
you know that I know it's it's not it's not the easiest sport.
So I'm excited to play here because hopefully I'll get a trainer at some point to kind of coach me or coach me a little bit. But we'll go play tomorrow. But another cool amenity to have and give it to our guests that are staying at Tangy. And if you're watching this, we have a new tool here. We're able to put up a QR code. So if you scan this QR code, you can go straight to our website and check out all the properties that we have. And if you're staying at one of the Miami properties or South Florida, you can go over to the Tips as well and hang out with us while we hit some golf balls and watch some college football in the morning. It's a cool place to be. But anyway, September, man, that was it's a slow month, and even in slow month, it's busy, right? Because when you say you're slow, for listeners out there, you have seasons everywhere, and I'm sure if you're in the business, you realize, man, we have seasons of all different kinds. And here in South Florida, slow season really is hurricane season. Is that August,
Mhm.
September, October a little bit better. September is painful, and the reason is because you don't get the rate, but you still have the bookings coming in, and you have to lower the rate to be able to get those bookings because everyone's dropping their rates: hotels, vacation rentals, hostels, cruise ships, everywhere that people might stay.
Exactly.
So, what were we doing? How do we manage our costs? Like we won't say the bottom line looks like, but we have to manage costs. What were some things that we were doing this month?
Yeah, you said it. I mean, the rate dropped significantly, but the occupancy maintains itself, right? So the operation continues. It's also the month that a lot of vendors or services or associations want to do their events, right? So it gets busy for us because we love attending some of this. We just came from a favor event in Orlando, so it is busy, right? And that's all. It's for us internally is the time also to basically put the properties back in shape, right? And make sure if there was a little project that we had pending, let's go ahead and tackle that so we can get the property ready for December. But you said it, right? We have 2 seasons. So what do we do in operations? We start trying to figure out what things we can save on, right? If it could be on things that are, that's something that we use here internally that is not needed. It's time for us to look at software and see if there is an ability to, maybe renegotiate. It'll be a good time also to see if there's other services that are lower fee, right, that you can move into and save a couple of bucks. Right now, we're working on a new our payment processing system to try to move it from Stripe to hopefully onto Guesty Pay, which is providing us a much better rate, and we'll at the end save a couple $1,000s of the year. So it's really good to kind of dive into the P&L and start getting creative.
Yeah, all those pennies start adding up, right? And it's little things too. It's amenities, right? So every home used to get a nice amenity. Everyone that was a VIP, no matter what
Getting
they were
Premier
spending,
coffee and
right?
Premier wine.
Yeah, wine, coffee, our branded snacks, all these things. We have to cut back on that. If you're paying a much lower rate, it's a different expectation than when you're paying a much higher rate. And that's something we learned in the hotels. I remember very clear. Maybe I won't say the hotel because I don't want to get in trouble. I don't know how long those like confidentiality clauses last, but there'd be two different seasons, and we would know like as soon as slow season came, the toilet paper changed. So it went from like ultra plushy, nice toilet paper to single ply, not as nice. And when you start doing that in hundreds of rooms, it starts to add up, or the kind of soap, or the kind of flowers. So fresh flowers got changed to fake flowers. All these little things start happening across the property at these big resorts when you're in slow season. And I always advise people that in vacation rental, you got to think the same too, without going too far to where it really hurts quality for the guests. But I have to say, if you haven't noticed, we have, I think, 106 reviews on Google at almost a perfect score. One person who we can't really track down where they stayed or what they did gave us what, 2 stars or 4 stars. So
It was a 1 star, and I have a pretty good feeling. I know from
I
who it
think it's our
was.
competition. I think it's our competition.
No, no, I don't. Maybe.
Maybe. Well, we're trying to track down that one person because we take that we're very proud of our scores and all the things that we do there. So yeah, man, we're through the slow season. Now time to rebound. What are
Yeah.
you looking forward to now in the last 3 months of the year?
Yeah, so I mean, this is our a bounce back month, right? We know that November and December are key months for us, right? It's I always tell the team, it's right. It's not September and August. It's not if we lose, right? I'll get candid here. It's how much we're going to lose, right? So we got to make sure that the end of the season we're able to to bounce back and to get back on green and alleviate those 2 months. And I wanted to go back into what you were saying with the guests specifically and what we're offering them as well. I know, kind of going back onto,
Yeah.
but
Right.
it's also a note to kind of say that the expectation of the guest remains the same, right? It's not you're going into September, the rates are lower, expectations from the guests are lower. No, I feel, and I know you remember when we were in hotels that the guests were paying much lower, but they were still coming to a high end property, right? So they expect a certain type of service level. They expect certain type of amenity. So that doesn't change. And a little funny story: we always in our bathrooms, each bathrooms they get 3 sets of toilet papers, 3 sets of amenities, etc. And we're having 1 or 2 night stays. And our housekeeping supervisor was telling me that they would come into the property, 1 night stay, no paper, no amenities at all from the entire property. So we're like, okay, so I think we gotta convert here
Yeah.
and maybe 2 papers in in
Yeah,
the
the travelers that are looking for those low when they listen, it's normal. We see it hotels, vacation rentals, lower rates. They're going to take advantage of everything because usually they've worked really hard for that money, and that's a big expense for them, right? And so it's an interesting balance. You see, like during high season, they're usually people that are more well off and they're more well traveled and they have the income to spend, and it's not as big a deal. And in the summertime, you have people looking for deals because they work so hard for that money to go on this vacation. They're going to get every ounce they can out of that dollar. And so that means our towels and toilet paper and some other things may disappear. I know we charge for our towels. We're not charging for paper towel and amenities that they take. So, but it's interesting. It's an interesting balance that people don't realize. Like we have some, partners because we don't own our properties. We manage them for owners that don't like this business because they don't realize that this is what it part is, and they don't have
yeah,
the mental fortitude sometimes to be like, oh my gosh, people took all the toilet paper out of the house or they did this. I was
yeah.
like, yeah, it's normal. It's
And
part of it's part of hospitality.
it's the month of the refund, right? So now it's any little detail, any like little thing that doesn't go the right way. It's hey, how else can we discount our stay, right? Give us
And it
so
happens everywhere. Like I was talking, we were just talking before, like we won't say the property, but like an ultra premium property. And when I was there, kind of giving them some advice, the general manager was complaining because this ultra wealthy guy was complaining that he found a little bit of dust on top of the door and that there was a speck on the carpet and there was something else. And if you start looking for things, you will find those things no matter what you're looking for, no matter how premium the property is. And that place is charging like $3,000 and $4,000 a night. And so it's just interesting to see, like, no matter
Yeah.
where you are in hospitality or travel, you can always have the guests that are that way.
Yeah. I always say this story was my favorite story. Worked at a golf resort. That's where I met you. And this golf resort is 5 stars, like top of the line. And guests would still come up to the front desk and say, "Hey, I'm playing my golf round, and there's an airplane. There's constantly every 10, 15 minutes an airplane passing by, and I'm trying to score a birdie, and I can't focus because this plane is going over me."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh my God, you can't
All
win
right,
more."
let me make a call. I'm gonna call the airport. Excuse me, airport, airport. Got it. I'll let them know. Thank you.
And I think you just gave me an idea. I know you have a really popular video that's out there of you letting people know what they can
Oh,
take
it's
and what
so
they cannot
embarrassing.
take.
Yeah. So listeners, I'm trying to build my YouTube channel, and I copied the person who hit 1 million followers, and it's like what you can take from a hotel room. And basically, it's the worst video I think I've made personally, but it's the most popular with like hundreds of thousands of views. And it's me like, you can take this from a hotel room, but you can't take this.
Hey, we got
So
the
dumb.
second most popular video out on YouTube now is going to be a vacation rental
We'll do it. I think we
version.
do it we'll do it in the nice places that we've got. But yeah, man, interesting time. So slow season done. Holidays are pretty much around the corner.
Or
What
the
what are we
bird
going to be
months.
doing here these next 3 months?
Yeah, so I mean, this one, like I mentioned, was like getting the next 3 months are key months for us to finish out the year. But like I mentioned, now it's preparing for the high season, and then also we got a lot of projects, right, that we had intended to finish out this year that we want to go ahead and do it for our goal because we have our yearly, tri-year and 10-year goals, so we need to get those done and then start prepping for 2026, right? We got a lot of things going on right now in the country and also here in Florida specifically. We got the FIFA coming to us, and we got a couple games on here. I know we're working with Favor, the associations that we're co-chairs for the board, and we're putting together a kind of like what to expect for new hosts that are coming on and wanting to list to take advantage of the FIFA Classic, right? So a lot of stuff that's going to be going on next year, specifically here locally. And yeah, it's a lot of things going on economically as well. So, there's a lot of trends in the real estate market, a lot of rebalancing, a lot of, things that people weren't expecting that is occurring. So it's also predicting, right? Trying to predict the future. We always try to do that. And it's never easy.
Yeah, I can say now, like I was telling some people in other hospitality kind of companies like restaurants and other things, is like we're seeing our pace pick up and hotels too. So I'm happy to see like we're picking up already for November and December. Travel is coming back. Like we're already ahead of some of our slower months, and we haven't even got into that month. And so
Yeah.
when I talk about pacing, it's how many reservations we have on compared to last year, and we're ahead. So I think it'll be a good year. And I think for people listening, if you're in the space or thinking about getting into space, you want to try to time the market when you're getting in, because the last thing you want to do is start right in slow season, where we've had a couple owners do that, and it can be painful because you put all this time and effort into it, and you start in the slowest month. It's like, oh man, but at least you're now going to start to see those things pay off. And for us, I want to make sure that we start prepping like we always do. I want to start a little earlier for like Thanksgiving time, which is a month from now, is making sure all the kitchens are ready, and we're testing the kitchens, and we have all the equipment we need for great Thanksgiving dinners that all these people will travel to Miami to have. And then you have Hanukkah and Christmas and all these fun things coming up that people want to celebrate in the vacation rentals. So you have to make sure you have the tools ready for it. So that's something that we're going to be prepping all of our owners for at the end of this month too.
Yeah,
So
that's a great point. I love that. Yeah.
a lot going on.
A lot going on. Yeah, we have all the ovens become very popular in the month of November, as you can imagine. So
Ovens. I remember for one of our first years, like one of them wasn't working, and we ruined their Thanksgiving because we didn't have things to cook with, and that always stuck with me on those. But we do have a lot of fun projects coming on. We can talk about another one that now is really full swing. We got Baya. And so for listeners and viewers, if you don't know, Baya is the project that Tangy Management will be operating, and Victor and I are also co-owners in. It is a we're going to say it, jungle-inspired eco resort on a tropical fruit farm. So a mouthful, but you can follow us at Baya Miami on Instagram. We just launched the Instagram page this week, and we're going to start to launch potential discounted reservations. So we keep an eye out for those ads as they come out, and we'll share a link here. So if you want to be on the list and be one of the first people to be able to attend and stay with us, you'll have a great opportunity to do it. But man, we had a lot go on. We got the land lease signed, which has been amazing. We now have our architect signed, who's built our first site plan. We have the team that is constructing our units. We got our fantastic partners, Ben Wolf, who is the founder of Onera out in Texas. We talked about that on one of our past podcasts, who built these beautiful resorts, and Banks Chisholm, who built them. So those are our team. It's just amazing the kind of partners we put together and how it's going. And Ben Wolf's team is doing the marketing for us because he has his company Owasi that does the marketing for Onera. And the first reel is of me and you walking on the farm this morning. I don't know if you had a chance to see it.
No, I haven't been on social media. But let me tell you, I don't know if this happened to you as well, but after the social media started going up, a lot of family members, I love you all, a lot of family members wanted to we're very interested in being one of the first people to stay in the property.
Yeah, you'll test it out. We'll test it out. We'll have a family and friends, but a lot of people start coming out, and we'll have you over. But the discounts, listen, guys, we gotta pay back big construction loans and things, so don't take it personal if you're gonna pay to be there.
Yeah, no,
but it's exciting how we've done it, and now we're really moving forward. It's pretty crazy. I was sitting in one of the meetings last week with the attorney that I started talking to 2 years ago to help us with zoning.
Yeah.
And he's like, wow, you actually got to this point. Still a long way to go, but we got to the point where we can start moving and actually building it and putting it together.
Yeah.
And getting the approvals that we need, because there's still a long road ahead. You don't realize, like, you got to test the soil and you got to test the water and you got to test all these things that Miami has to approve first. And it's going to be very exciting.
I remember you sharing me an email from that same attorney where he was saying that he feels it's a 50-50 on getting that approval. And so I'm sure to him, and seeing that we got to that point and that 50% chance, we took it into 100% chance, it must have been pretty eye-opening, but a lot of work on the back end to get to that point.
Yeah, it was a big gamble. I remember that moment where he asked me, Steve, like, it's going to cost money. This was before we met Ben and Banks, and it was just kind of you and I talking, and I had to put in a certain amount of money, and I was like, all right, it's like being in the casino. Like, it's 50-50. You got to put your chips on the table to see if you get the right hand, and luckily at that time we did. We still have to play a lot more hands now going forward to get approvals and permits and some fun things that look pretty good.
I think the demeanor is obviously of celebratory that we got to this point, but like what you said, right, there's still a lot, but it's good to obviously reminisce and look at all the challenges that we've overcome already to get to this point, knowing, right, that still a long road ahead, but it's fun. We've learned so much. I mean, it's a completely different world. What are you gonna do? You're gonna put up a picture?
Pull up our Instagram here so people can see. I want to see if I can pull this up here. Hold on. So if you're watching, you're one viewer, my dad, probably your dad. I don't know who else watches this, but at least we can see what we got working with. Here's our new page and all of our newest renderings, and these are not AI renderings. These are actual renderings from our render company. But here we are, Victor, walking it before, and what's coming after is going to be very cool.
I can't wait. Open up the interior picture. I want to see what our dads think about the interior sofas and
There's the interior picture, everyone. That is a real sofa. It's called the Pill. But I love it.
Okay, the lifesaver, and it's actually one piece, right? I
think so, yes. But I love what we're putting together. I'm so excited for everyone to see what we've got going on. It's going to be amazing. So make sure when we get that early reservations and you get on the list to know when we announce it. It's going to be awesome for you all to see.
Yeah, I can't wait. That's going to be fun. I can't wait for I said it, right? We talked about it recently, and I don't know why it came to my head of all of like the cool things to look forward to because of this, right? We're first break. What's it called? Breaking
Groundbreaking, ribbon cutting. Yeah, all these
ribbon
fun things
cutting.
that are going to be coming forward.
Yeah, and a lot of events. A lot of people have come forward and said that they're really interested in helping in any way. Some like chefs, some like really good, well-known and local chefs. Some people that are really interested in like events and space for the space of Baya. So a lot of interest. So opportunity is there. We've like gone to Homestead. We've like talked to like the locals around there, and started getting some really good friendship with local restaurants, and potentially to do partners. So the sky is limitless. I know you have a ton of ideas on your book. I know one of them that was thrown around there was the goat yoga. So that one's gonna be cool.
Yeah, we have a lot of ideas to do things there. It has to look, the core thing is that it's farm focused, and that's what the agritourism laws are here in South Florida, and it's really focusing on farmland and explaining things and teaching people about this part of Florida, because we don't want developers coming in and just making everything townhomes on this beautiful
Yeah.
area. And so that's what really is the core to all of this. It looks awesome and it's going to be beautiful, but it's helping out the farmland that we're on is owned by a farmer, and they get a percentage of all the sales that are going to go there, so they can maintain that actual farm and
Yeah.
keep selling the fruits and make this something very special. So there's going to be so many cool amenities there that all tie back to the farm. We're going to make it look very dense, tropical jungle fruit farm in that our zone of the farm, but it's 25 acres, and we have a small portion of those 25 acres where our stays will be. So
I love
it
it.
is going to be a lot of fun.
That's a reel right there.
Right there. We're gonna clip that one. I'll make sure we do it. But it really is something special. And the reason it came about, and I think we've talked about this a little bit, but I want people to think there's so much product out there on vacation rentals, and there's so much competition out there. Like, you really have to stand out. I think our new properties are starting to do that now with games and different kind of amenities that we put in. But you see the top performing places have some kind of hook. It's not just beds and a kitchen and it's clean. Like, that's basic. That's like what you need no matter what. It's how else
Right.
can you do it? And this is where that came from 2 years ago, was what can we do to really stand out? And then on the other podcast I do, Good Morning Hospitality, we talked about it this week. Marriott just started their first brand for outdoor hospitality. And so now they have a soft brand, and they bought a big company called Postcard Cabins, which are just tiny little trailers in the middle of nowhere with no Wi-Fi, no TV, nothing. It's just a trailer in the woods. But they're now focusing big time. They created a whole different department on outdoor hospitality that they just launched this week. So we were 2 years early. We saw it coming. Now we just got to get it open.
It's cool to see. Yeah. Now, we were obviously, we've talked about on this channel that our PMS partner is Guesty, and I go into monthly calls with our account manager. Shout out to Cam. And we were chatting about potentially kind of just looking into what potentially could be for this project. And we were communicating about how many new booking channels are now gearing towards these type of experiences. So specific landscape booking channels that glamping landscape resort booking channels that are being made specifically for this type of stay. So
Yep.
And they're going to be connecting to our property management software. So a lot of cool things happening, and I think people are starting to kind of catch the wave.
Yeah, it's coming, and I love it. It makes me feel good knowing that's happening, because when we first started talking about, people were like, what are you talking about? Who's going to go where? What? And now when the big dogs start coming in, there's a market. And so it should make our investors feel really good. Makes me feel very confident knowing, like, all right, we're not just shooting in the dark here. And now we're going to be the first in Miami-Dade County is the other, right? Which is great and a challenge at the same time, because we are the first and we have to lead by example. So, man, a lot of fun things coming up in these next couple of months.
I think so too, man. And I know we talked about the farm. I know we talked about the the specifics and how hard and how long we've come to get to this point. But can we talk about like the amenities, like some of the cool little things? Is that still
not yet?
Not yet?
We got to keep that under wraps. We have to get approved first before we start mentioning them. You can check our Instagram page out if you want to read about some of the amenities.
Some of them.
I don't want to officially announce all of them. Like, we have some cool things we can talk about, some basic ones, but we'll say that for the next episode.
Sorry, I got excited. To tell everyone all of our ideas.
Let's go. We're going to have some very cool things there that all have to tie back to agritourism. That is the key, Victor.
I love it.
All right. They all have to tie back to agritourism in some shape or form, which we have a good plan to make sure they all do and actually do support it and
Yeah.
help that whole thing out. So a lot of fun stuff coming up, but for us too at Tangy, we've have made a lot of new changes. We have our team that has got really solid. We added sales, we added accounting. We have our EOS instructor, Isabel Porzakansky, helping us a lot. And I see a lot of things happening. And at Favor, which was the conference that we were at, we had a lot of different kind of talks of different things. Was there anything that stood out to you on helping teams get better? I know we spoke at a little bit about revenue management, but we sat in on a
Yeah.
lot of things.
Yeah, I know that, we chat about our revenue management, and we saw what everybody's kind of doing, and seeing, that there's a lot of similarities as far as like rates, and how the people that are strategizing in that sense. I thought one of them that was cool was, I mean, I know that this was like something also that last year was a big push for, but I sat into another one that's an AI focused tool to better predict the guest behavior into what they're wanting to look for, right? So a lot of AI tools now are starting to, you're able to actually put in, hey, I want to stay at a short-term rental, and look up, property in this area. So a lot of these tools now are going to start being geared towards short-term rentals. So you can actually, like how you can go on right now and look up a hotel, you're going to be able to do that as well for short-term rentals. So it's the time to kind of start thinking about that, and start making sure your website communicates well with the search bots and all the AI tools that are coming up. So clean up the website and make sure everything is running smoothly, because these tools now are going to be searching your website to be able to book trips. So I thought that was pretty cool. That's kind of new in that space.
Yeah, what I learned too was that you have to have your website has to have the blogs. You have to have your Google reviews up and running. It's a big help if you have PR and articles written about you, because it starts pulling all this information to see, all right, who am I suggesting? Because when you're talking to ChatGPT or Google's Gemini or Claude or whoever it is, and whatever tool you use, they're pulling all of the information that they can find to say, all right, this is a good brand for you to book with because it has good reviews, it has write-ups about it, it has blogs, it has real owners, and we keep showing up. Luckily, when I do searches on other people's computers and incognito, our brand shows up when searching this area. So
Yeah,
we're
super
doing
important, right?
some good things.
Yeah, we always think about Google and how we're ranking on Google, and what our profile is showing up as in Google. But now we got to start gearing towards how are we showing up on some AI search tools, right? So it's super important, and I know you were excited about a couple of tools that just started. I don't know if you want to share.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, ChatGPT. I'm a pro user. I pay the $200 a month for it. I love using it for all different things and just for fun. Like they came out with their new video tool called Sora 2. The first Sora was fun but hard to kind of use, and this Sora 2 is unreal. It's like it just came out yesterday, and you record your face, you say a little talk that they make you do, and then you can plug yourself in to anything, right? And so it's wild to see what's happening and what's real and what's not real. Like I want to go on a trip to Italy, and I was like, let me have Leonardo da Vinci tour me around Florence at sunset and show me his favorite place in the neighborhood. And it created a video with me walking with Leonardo da Vinci in Florence at sunset, and him talking to me about his favorite areas. And it's like, oh
It's
my
crazy.
God, what is this?
It's crazy,
So,
yeah.
going quick.
And yeah, and in the show, how we always try to tie it back to vacation rental or
Or
hotels and
hospitality, yeah, you can like walk through a
hospitality.
place, and I'm curious
Right,
to play with it, right?
right.
It
And
just
we were
has to be
talking.
a popular place, right? Because you can't put in your own video yet. I'm sure that will come, right? But you can be
That'll be
able to
really
tour
cool,
anything.
right? Like we were like chatting backstage that like a cool idea would be if hey, make a video of this guest walking into our property and setting their luggage and setting, right. So I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. So it can give somebody the visual, right, of what it would look like and feel like when they would arrive and check into a property. So I'm like, that's already something there, right? We're thinking creatively of how it can relate to what we're doing.
So many tools now, man. It's unreal. But I'm excited for all the new tools that come out. We've had a busy month with going to Florida Alliance Vacation Rental. summit. I say it right, the Favor Summit that we went to, got to speak at. We got new properties that we got up this month. We've got some great team members doing awesome things for us. We've got Baya Miami on Instagram. Make sure to follow. And we shared a lot of good info today, right? I think we shared some good tools. And so if you found some value in this, listener and viewer, make sure to pause this, copy and paste it where you're listening to it, and forward it over to one of your friends. I'm sure they're going to find some value in it as well. But until next month, anything you want to close with, Victor, or should we just to wrap it?
I think we said it best. I'm ready to show you a couple of things in golf tomorrow.
All right. Well, at the tips tomorrow, we're going to be here in Brickell. So if you want to come join us, we'll be there bright and early. So we'll see you next